Hello, this is Dr. Mears. Today we are going to be learning about probabilities of slot machines. Now, here's a little disclaimer before I start. These probabilities are going to be based on if all icons equally likely to come up on a spin. And I'm going to define what an icon is, I'm going to define what it means to come up, and I'm going to define on a spin. So we're going to actually come back to this little disclaimer in a second. First, let's find out what it means to actually play a slot machine. What are icons? So don't mind if I share my screen with you. And so we can investigate what icons look like. So there are many different icons on slot machines. So these are the icons, the kind of the standard ones. A lot of people say that when triple sevens come up, that's a great sign because you won the jackpot. Sometimes if cherries comes up or the bars come up, you win things too. And of course, the lucky horseshoe. So what do I mean by coming up or being lucky or things like that? So let me show you. It's called free slots, and yes, you can play for free. This is kind of a virtual slot machine. This is something that you would see on when you were at a casino. Down here, this is the pay line. So when it lands on this line, then what it lands on, you can get paid a certain amount of coins or money. Here, they're called credits. And so you can see I have 199 credits. If we were playing penny slots, that would be 199 pennies. If we were playing dollar slots, that'd probably be $199. So depending on what kind of slot you want to play, that's what the credits are going to be based upon. Now, we can bet one or bet max. And here's your spin reels. So that's going to spin this wheel, that's going to spin this wheel, and that's going to spin this last wheel. So right now, I'm just going to bet one. So I'm playing one coin, whether that be a dollar, a quarter, $5, but I'm just doing one. I'm going to spin my wheels. Ooh, so because I got that combination of double bar, then a single bar and another single bar, I actually won 5 credits. That's pretty good. I'm wondering what a max bet is. Okay, so max bet, you can say 3 coins. Oh, I played 3 coins and I didn't win anything. So maybe I'll go back betting 1, bring me back down to 199. Let's see here. Wow, that's pretty good. So this is how you play. You bet one or bet the max, and then you spin the reels. Here, this is your pay line, so whatever it lands on here. Triple sevens, as you can see, a 7. If a 7 and a 7 and another 7 came up, you win like a jackpot. So that's always exciting to do. Okay, so that's how slot machines work. Let's go back now and look at some of the probabilities. So as I said before my disclaimer, these probabilities are on if all the icons were equally likely to come up. So if that double bar was equally likely to come up on that first little reel, and it was equally likely to come up on that second, as it was equally likely to come up on that third. Well, what do I mean by equally likely? For this game, there were 9 little pictures, which we called icons. There were 9 pictures that could have come up in the first reel. There were 9 pictures that could have come up in the second. And there were 9 little pictures that could come up on the third. So each one of these reels, the pictures are equally likely to come up. They have the same probability. So let's take a look at what I mean. First, we have to investigate our sample space. How many total combinations can there be? Well, there's 9 possible icons on the first and multiplication, 9 on the second and multiplication, 9 on the third. That gives us 729 combinations. Well, here we have total outcome 729. So let's say if that we have, we want to win the jackpot. So we're playing for all 7s. So let's run the probability of getting all 7s. So that means I want a 7 on my first reel. 7 has to pop up. And I want another 7 on the second reel. And I want another 7 on the third. This is pretty tough. Now, saying that these are all equally likely to come up means that there is one 7 out of 9 on this first reel. So that's what I mean by equally likely. The second one, again, there's only 1 7 out of 9 possible icons. And on the third, there's only 1 7 out of 9 possible outcomes. So the 7 has a 1 out of 9 chance to come up on each of these reels. That's what I mean by equally likely to come up. So if we have all 7s, that means I need the first one and the second one and the third one. So I am multiplying. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 9 times 9 times 9 gives our total outcome 729. So that gives me a 0.00137 probability. That is about 0.1% chance to win that big jackpot. Dun, dun, dun. That is a very, very low probability. Still a chance, very low probability. So let's take a look at combinations. So as you saw, there were some combinations. So sometimes those triple bars came up, so or you can get a single bar. Sometimes cherries can come up. Sometimes you could have like a 7 on the first, a bar on the second, and a cherry on the third. So any one of these types of combinations can come up. You can win some money. So you don't just need to get all 7s to win money. It just all 7s means you win the jackpot. So like you saw on my last spin, I actually had, my last spin, I had a bar on the first, bar on the first, and then I had a bar on the second, and I had a bar on the third. So, and here was my little win line. And so I won 5 credits. So this was one of the combinations. So there are many different combinations, and I picked out one combination here. So my first one, I can say, we're going to find this probability that on the first one, either a 7 or the bar comes up, and multiplication. On the second one, let's say that a 7 or a bar or cherry comes up, okay? So that's fine. Whatever combination comes up, it's going to be a winner. And multiplication. On the third, a 7 or a bar or a cherry can come up. So let's find the probability. Okay. So on this first one, there's a 7 or a bar. That means that there's 2 out of 9 total icons that can come up when I spin. Okay. And on my second one, I could have a 7 or bars or a cherry now. So now I have 3 different possible ways out of 9. So that's a 3 out of 9. And multiplication, on my third one, I could also have a 7 or bars or a cherry. So 1, 2, 3 possibles that I can win out of 9. So here, my probability gets a little bit better. Let's see how much better it actually gets. Okay. If I multiply 2 times 3 times 3, I get 18. Of course, 9 times 9 times 9 is 729. That means I have a probability of 0.025. That's about a 3% chance to win some money. Maybe it could be 5 credits, like I won down here. Maybe it could be 2. Maybe it could be 1. But still a very small probability than what we've been used to learning about our other types of games of chances, like roulette. So here's the trick that the casinos use. Now, probability of winning the jackpot, very low. Probability of even doing combinations, very low. But the casinos will set the probability even lower, making the 7 or the bars come up less, and the non-winning icons come up more. So the 7, they might set the 7 to come up on that first one, like maybe 1 in 100 times, not just 1 in 9. They might set it to 1 in 100, just on that very first slot there. So that's what happens with casinos. So you think you're winning, but that's maybe just because it came up on that. You're that 100th person that spun that wheel, or that you gave it that 100th spin, not the 100th, the 100th spin, and it actually came up for you. that means that there's probably going to be 100 more spins you're going to have to wait. So they won't set it to equally likely here. They might set it, the second one, they might have it come up 1 in 20. And the third one, they might have it come up 1 in 35. So it's not always 1 in 9. And that's how I started. That's where I started with my disclaimer that we're just finding probabilities if they are all equally likely to come up. But please be wary that casinos do take your money, and this is one of the games where they will surely get it. So word to the wise, be cautious, but you can most certainly have fun. This is Dr. Mears. This has been Probability and Slot Machines.